Hello! First, I'd like to thank everyone for making my last music type video the most viewed and most commented video I've ever posted. I figured with that kind of trending, I should make some more music ones, and this one will rely heavily on the comment section. It's almost a game of sorts. Like creating a fantasy football team, I thought you could create your own fantasy band. And I'll create mine as an example. So I would say that there isn't really a limit on how many instruments you want, but I suppose the more realistic the better. So for mine, I'm going to have a vocalist/singer, a lead guitar, a backing/rhythm guitar, a bass, drums, a keyboard, and a lyricist. Alright, so singer. With most of these, there's going to be many runner-ups, but let's talk about the pick first. And one thing I think is important is that this isn't necessarily about who's the best. Some, yeah, I did choose them because they're the best, but it's hard to say that someone is a better singer than someone. It's all about the style. So for the singer, I pick Lou Gramm of Foreigner fame. Part of my reasoning is that his voice is very normal, which is a weird way of putting it, especially since a unique voice is what can make a band special. But my reasoning behind picking Lou Gramm has a lot to do with the album Shadow King. Shadow King was a supergroup that only had one album, and it was slightly more metal than Foreigner, a little more glam metal. And I think that's what I'm looking for. A lot of voices can only do soft rock or can only do metal, but Lou Gramm could do both, which isn't to say no one else can, but I still think he's great at it. Also, an important factor I should mention is that each artist is in their prime for this game. I feel bad for Lou Gramm. He got it the worst. He got a brain tumor and gained a lot of weight, but I really like his Shadow King voice, so I guess that's his prime. The runner-ups are many for the vocalist position. I'm a big Rush fan, and Geddy Lee is obviously amazing. There are many good metal voices like Don Dokken, Axl Rose, Sebastian Bach, you know I never hurt so bad. Billy Corgan. Brad Delp of Boston is good. Joey Tempest from Europe. And many, many more, but Lou Gramm wins the spot for vocalist/singer. Next is the lead guitarist. This was easy, but only because I already decided who the best guitar player was years ago. This is another one where there are so many legends, but I'll get to them in a second. The winner is Eddie Van Halen. Eddie is a guitarist that even most guitarists admit that he is the best. Even Sammy Hagar is willing to humble himself in Eddie's presence.
Because I get to go sit down, have myself a nice cold one, and listen to the greatest rock and roll guitar player in the world, Mr. Eddie Van Halen.
He's known for his chaotic style, which isn't uncommon, but he just takes it to another level. I tend to enjoy a song where the guitar stands out, where it goes crazy. I feel like I don't need to say a whole lot, so let's talk about the runner-ups. George Lynch of Dokken is really great, and some say maybe as good as Eddie, and they were friends at one point, so that's fun. Most people see Alex Lifeson as the weakest link of Rush. I couldn't disagree more. Alex is an absolute legend and a great guitar player. Jimi Hendrix is amazing. Watch my video I did for him. John Norum of Europe is really good. Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine is very good, very innovative. Slash of Guns N' Roses. Kurt Cobain of Nirvana. Matthias Jabs from the Scorpions is amazing. And there are many more, but yes, Eddie Van Halen wins the spot for lead guitar. Backing/rhythm guitar. Most bands don't have one. Some might see the backing guitar as unnecessary, but I see it as the extra oomph. And sure, in most bands the guitarist will just do multiple layers in the recording, but I think that bringing a different personality can shake it up nicely. And there's a band that's one of my favorites because I think that they use their rhythm guitars very well. That's right, Rudolf Schenker of the Scorpions is my pick for rhythm guitar. Fun fact, Rudolf is the only founding member to still be in the band. It's kind of his band. Rudolph's rhythm guitar is so iconic that sometimes his parts are the most memorable parts of a Scorpion song. But of course, guitarists like Matthias Jabs complement his playing very well. He has made some of the most recognizable rhythms in rock history, and I would like that for my fantasy band. Finding other rhythm guitarists wasn't easy, but luckily I did. It seems that a lot of rhythm guitarists are the singers. Sammy Hagar was Van Halen's, at least when he joined. James Hetfield, Metallica's singer. Joan Jett does rhythm in most things at least. But there's a couple others. Malcolm Young of AC/DC obviously has iconic riffs. Billy Duffy of The Cult, he's the only guitarist, so he doesn't technically qualify, but probably my favorite parts of those songs are the rhythm parts, so... But yeah, many good rhythm guitarists, but Rudolf Schenker wins the spot for backing/rhythm guitar. It is said that the bass is the backbone of the band, and that's true. Unfortunately, most people don't care for the bassist, but I can't completely blame them because you usually just can't hear the bass. But there are people that are recognized as good bassists. My choice might be a little obvious, Geddy Lee. I mean, probably the best way to get recognized is if the band actually puts you in the spotlight, which is rare, but not for Rush. He doesn't just play the tempo, he plays a legitimate part of the song. And in this fantasy band, we want some upfront bass parts from time to time. I'll admit I don't know a lot of bassists, but here's some good ones. Flea of Red Hot Chili Peppers is a clear second choice for me. I actually recognize their bass. Sting of The Police, he's Geddy Leeing it. Also, this whole time I thought John Cooper of Skillet was the lead guitar, but no, he's the bassist. He's Geddy Leeing it as well. And there's Chris Squire of Yes,
Move yourself. You always live your life, never thinking of.
Duff McKagan of Guns N' Roses. John Deacon of Queen. And many more. Still, Geddy Lee wins the spot for bassist. Drums, another backbone of the band, but maybe more up front. Let's not pretend you don't know who I'm gonna pick. It's Neil Peart. And before anyone says anything...
Sid, I told you not to eat Mr. Peart's sandwich.
It's just Peart.
You sure that it's not Peart?
I think he would know.
Are you sure? Because we're pretty big fans.
What to say, really? He doesn't just play the beat, he shakes it up every second he can. Great talent and big kits. What am I even looking at here? Of course, this isn't just for show because he does use a variety of instruments, xylophones, electronic cymbals, and even a cowbell from time to time. There's a reason he has solos. I'll link the Frankfurt one down below. I mean, that's just a song, and he's one guy. So, runner-ups. There's some good ones. Dave Grohl, I'm a big fan. And of course, Taylor Hawkins. The other Van Halen brother, Alex, is very talented. John Bonham from Led Zeppelin is obviously atop most people's list. Jen Ledger of Skillet is a personal favorite. Tommy Lee of Motley Crue. Meg White of the White Stripes. Phil Collins. And many more legendary drummers. But Neil Peart wins the spot for drummer. Keyboards and sometimes organs and pianos. They are used in many genres. Sometimes people commonly complain that an album or song has too much keyboard. I tend to disagree. Some of the best songs ever have strong keyboard parts. But who has consistently good parts? Many bands, so it wasn't easy to choose. The deciding factor was who made Separate Ways. Journey, obviously, played by Jonathan Cain. Separate Ways has to be in my top 10 of all time. Journey has many good keyboard parts, including the most recognizable keyboard tune in all of modern history, and that was Jonathan Cain. Now, of course, before Cain, Greg Rowley was in the band, and he was good as well. He was also in The Storm. But I'd still go with Cain. Cain was also in Bad English. And The Babies.
I was so lonely until I met you. Told myself I'd get by without love.
Others. Styx is very, very iconic. Dennis DeYoung was the Styx keyboardist. Geddy Lee is obviously amazing at the keyboard and, of course, experimental at times, but Subdivisions has to be one of my favorites. Eddie Van Halen is actually the keyboardist for Van Halen, so the most well-known Van Halen song, that was him. Jimmy Bain did do the iconic Rainbow in the Dark part. Mick Michelli of Europe, Final Countdown is another favorite.
It's the final countdown.
David Bryan of Bon Jovi. Tom Scholz of Boston. Freddie Mercury of Queen. So there are many good keyboardists, but Jonathan Cain wins the spot for keyboardist. Lyricist. This one is difficult, mostly because I feel like in this scenario, you'd be the one writing the lyrics, you know, so they'd be personal. But still, what band would your lyrics most likely reflect? This was very hard. I went back and forth between a few, but I think I found an answer. My lyrics would most reflect Relient K's, which are written by Matt Thiessen.
The beauty of grace is that it makes life not fair. 'Cause I've been housing all this doubt and insecurity, and I've been locked inside that house. All the while you hold the key now.
One reason is because they have both Christian lyrics and secular lyrics. In my band, we would have Christian lyrics a lot, but not all the time.
Just beat apart my tongue. I gotta keep quiet, listen to your voice. Because the power of your words can repair all that I've destroyed. Been told a funny joke, got the whole class laughing. Think I got a tan from the light which I was basking. The Sadie Hawkins dance and my khaki pants. There's nothing better. Girls ask the guys, it's always a surprise. There's nothing better, baby, do you like my sweater?
Now, of course, this doesn't reflect who I think is the greatest lyricist. It's Neil Peart, obviously, but his lyrics tackle social status, being young, being old, economic problems, futuristic fantasies, the powers of the universe. Rush tackles big ideas.
I can't stop thinking big. I can't stop thinking big.
But my band might be a little more personal. Not saying that Rush can't be, because some songs are very personal, and not saying that my band won't sometimes look at the bigger picture, but still. And the band that I was considering picking was Weezer, with Rivers Cuomo's lyrics.
All I have to do is swing and I'm a hero, but I'm the zero.
They feel offhand, they feel personal. In this fantasy band, I'd be writing lyrics from my personal experiences, so relating to the lyrics a band gives is important to show who I would write like. I feel like the only bands I can relate to at least half of their songs are Rush, Weezer, Relient K, and most every Christian band. A great example is Stephen Chris Chapman. I like how he said this.
To have the opportunity to be a part of really the soundtrack. A lot of people say, like, your songs are the soundtrack of my faith journey, my family. What an amazing thing.
That is true.
Before I knew it, I was singing along, and we sang, this is my declaration of dependence. This is my declaration of my faith.
And others like Sanctus Real. And Skillet.
You are what I believe. I'll never die for you. This is all that I need. When nothing is real, you are my truth.
Like, Van Halen is one of my favorite bands, but I don't think I can relate to a single song, at least not fully. And a lot of bands have one song that I can relate to, but then not really any others. Boston's Peace of Mind, that is me.
I understand the
but I don't really think I can relate to most other Boston songs. But I would say that there are other lyric styles that I would use from time to time. I like Nirvana's sarcasm, and my band could have a couple songs like that.
Come as you are, as you were, as I want you to be.
Maybe once in a while, a Twisted Sister type of song like, yeah, stay strong.
You thought it was gone, but the fire goes on, and I thought you knew me. I told you before till I settled the score, but I'm never.
And then once in a while, a total like love song would be nice.
I can't stop loving you. Time passes quickly and chances are few. I won't stop till I.
So there'd be a variety. And to quickly mention some other good writers, Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins is a good writer.
Stab you with a smile. Cut you like you want me to. Cut their lips.
Zach De La Rocha writes for Rage Against the Machine.
Your pocket, son, they got you thinking that what you need is what they selling. Make you think that mine is rebelling.
And there are a lot of good lyrics out there. Sometimes in bands you wouldn't expect, but my band would have the lyrics most like Reliant K's. And there you have it. I have Lou Gramm on vocals,
I'm begging you, please don't break it up. Take a little time and make it up. I don't wanna break it up.
Eddie Van Halen on lead guitar, Rudolf Schenker on rhythm guitar, Yaeli Lee on bass,
To taste on you the fruits of life, the last immortal man. Find the
Neil Peart on drums, Jonathan Cain on keyboard, and lyrics a lot like Reliant K's.
to see that you've been aptly damned to fail and fail again, 'cause we're all guilty of the same things. We think the thoughts whether or not we see them through.
Lastly, what would your band name be? I have some ideas for mine, but I don't want to say because it might be too cool to put out there, so that's optional. But it's your turn now. Comment down below who you would choose for your fantasy band. And remember, there are no bad answers. It's whatever you want, so have fun.